morning and welcome to Faith Spiritual Center Worldwide. And we are here not by chance but by divine appointment. And for all those that tuned in at this moment, we're here together to do something together. We are the two or three gathered. And I love, every couple of years, I do Aladdin's lamp in January because there is an energy, there is this amazing archetype of the magician, and each of us is a magician because we've taken ordinary circumstances many times in our lives and we have transformed the routines of work into celebrations of life and love, have we not? We have done that. And when we recognize that life is a gift, and we're not always going to feel that way, we're going to have our challenges, we're going to have our dis-eases, we're going to have our moments of a lower energy. But the truth of us is that we are perfect, complete, and whole. This is the truth of us. And anything less than that is not who we are. So in our way of life, we allow these cleanses to surface. It's good. They surface, they come forth, and out they go because the truth is they are neither person, place, nor thing. Only the life and the energy that we've given into it. And sometimes we give it a lot of life and energy, don't we? We really do. We just milk it for all it's worth, and people are there, and oh, you poor thing, and we get our needs met with sympathy as well. And that's fine, but then I set the timer. I let myself do that for about 2 minutes. Oh, look at all you're doing, and oh my gosh. And then when the egg timer goes off, then I'm me again. We all need a safe space to discharge energy, realizing it's not who we are, but it's just a moment in our lives. So today when we talk about we are mastering the lamp, we are masters of the lamp. And the lamp that Aladdin found energetically really symbolized the subconscious. And rubbing of the lamp is the opportunity that we have to put the works with the faith, the action with intention, and get the job done. This business of living. And it's really interesting. A year ago, I was nominated for the, I wasn't really nominated, they just unanimously wanted me to be the president of the International Foundation for World Peace and Research, which I did not want. And said I didn't want it, that I had, a lot on my plate, just here in Palm Springs and running a ministry. And the Dr. Mathur from India, Dr. Elizabeth Gulag from Amsterdam, Dr. Danny Shumad from Germany, there were several others there, Dr. Miroslav from Croatia, he is a professor there, all said, you are the one to do it. And we have discussed it, and you are the one to do it. So with that kind of faith in me, I said that I would do it. Because I do really believe that there is a power for good in the universe greater than I am. It uses me. If I get myself out of the way, it uses me. So we were nominating, as you know, the Reverend Dr. Professor Emmanuel Ida for the Nobel Peace Prize last year. And he is amazing. I've shared with you that he's founded 3 universities, that in this little obscure village, he created 5 manufacturing companies for the unemployed that are now gainfully employed. He feeds 500 people a day in this amazing compound that's on university grounds. It goes on and on and on. And so I felt very confident, and then I received an email from Dr. Elizabeth from Amsterdam and Dr. Miroslav from Croatia, who were meeting me in Oslo, Norway, to make this nomination, that the Nobel Peace Prize Institute is closed the month of December. Well, I've already got my ticket. I've already got lodgings. I'm there. So I said, you know what? I'm going to see the lay of the land, and I'll get the energy, I'll get a sense of the energy. Because I'm a little bit, I don't like the word nervous, but I have a little uneasiness. I've never done anything like this. I've never been to Oslo, Norway. I've never nominated anyone for the Nobel Peace Prize. You understand what I'm saying. Maybe I'll get back here. We'll get back here. So I get to Oslo, and I get this email from Dr. Elizabeth saying, I'm not letting you go alone. So she flies over from Amsterdam. It's like, 2 hours. And then Dr. Miroslav says, I'm meeting you there as well. So I said, let's just walk. He said, I was at the Nobel Peace Prize Library yesterday. I was sort of there for the whole day getting a sense of the energy. So I said, well, let's just walk on down. It's, it's a mile or so, but, you're in a foreign country and you're on sidewalks that are huge and trees, and it's lovely. So we're walking down and we go in, and I see a woman at a computer. And I say, hello, I'm Dr. Sharon Stroud from the United States of America, and I would like to speak to the director of the Nobel Peace Prize Institute. She said, he's on the phone and be off in a minute. Now, I have had all of these onslaughts of emails. Don't go, the Nobel Peace Prize Institute is closed, don't go. And so, I'm out there like Aladdin, I'm just going to rub the lamp and see what genie's going to come out and where it's going to take me. So she goes, Dog, as in D-A-G, Dog is off the phone, and he can see you now. So I walk in and I introduce myself, and I say, I'm Dr. Sharon Stroud from the United States of America. I'm here to nominate a candidate for the Nobel Peace Prize. Would you mind looking over my paperwork? And he said, not at all. And he said, looking through it, he goes, oh, this looks really good. Oh, everything's in order. Oh, I see Dr. Miroslav did not sign his name. I said, he didn't. He's hiding out across the street in an espresso restaurant because he didn't want to seem too aggressive since he was here yesterday. I'll walk across the street and get him. Now, this is all very official, and this is all the Nobel Peace Prize Institute. I walked across the street, and I said, Miroslav, you're going to hide out here, at least sign your name to the letter, the nomination of the Nobel Peace Prize. So he comes over, and this young man, he says, as he extends his hand to Dr. Miroslav, he said, my wife is from Croatia. We go there every summer. And they shook hands. So there's an immediate connection there. So Miroslav signs his name on the nomination, and you have to have a professor who is active if you're going to make a nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize. So you have to have it. That is a given. You have to have that. So he signed his name. And then he said, would you like a personal tour of the Institute? It's not really the public one. We'll do some other things. So we went on this amazing tour at the Nobel Peace Prize Institute. And he said, did you know how the Nobel Peace Prize came to be in Oslo, Norway? Because all the other Nobel Peace Prize are given in Stockholm, Sweden. And I said, tell me more. And he said, well, it seems that Alfred Nobel was in love with this very, very wonderful woman. And she said, you're giving all of these Nobel Peace Prizes for chemistry, for science, for, education. And she went down, you do not have a Peace Prize. Why don't you institute a Nobel Peace Prize and give that wonderful financial grant for those that are really working to better the world? And he thought, good idea. And they give the Nobel Peace Prize because she was from Oslo, Norway. We all know it all begins with a woman, right? Because she was from Oslo, Norway, they instituted the Nobel Peace Prize given in Oslo, Norway. And when I participated in the ceremony in December, this December, it was magical. And to listen to that 17-year-old girl who was shot in the head by the Taliban, and to say that when I was on that stretcher being carried into the emergency ward, all the fear went out of me, and the courage of my cause came into me, and I said to myself, you're going to be the Prime Minister of Pakistan one day. Now, everybody is just like, she's 17 years old. She is making a declaration. She has been shot in the head by the Taliban because why? She wanted an education, and she was encouraging other young women to get an education. Her Nobel Peace Prize grant was donated to education in Pakistan and educating young women. And the gentleman from India who was about child labor, there he was. And he was also nominated. They split it. They split the grant. And he goes into labor camps where they've got little children doing labor, and he creates an educational system and an orphanage and place for them to stay. He was a phenomenal man. And I walked with them. They were actually up on the balcony, but there were about 200 people. We all had candles in our hands walking down that lane in Oslo, Norway. Give peace a chance, singing that song and that energy field. So when we talk about mastery of the lamp and knowing what we want, and magically it seems, because I made the decision, even though they said, it's closed, you can't go there the month of December, I made the decision to go, and I was not invested whether I nominated or not, because I could have come back in January, which I did end up doing, but it worked. Because I had such a belief in what I was doing and in who I was nominating. And I understood why Malala and this wonderful gentleman from India received the Nobel Peace Prize. But I said in one of my talks to 25,000 students and faculty in Africa at the end of November that here is a man, and I looked out into all the women in the audience, that empowers women. That when I went around and said, what is your major? Oh, medicine. What is your major? Oh, she said, oh, I'm into computer science. I asked all these young women that were in the audience, which were about, I would say, over 10,000 women in the audience, what they wanted, what their major was, and they were so empowered to be all that they can be. So I told Father Ida, who is a Catholic priest in Nigeria, in Olili, a little obscure village, who built a cathedral for 50,000 people. I said, my God, I've been in San Diego, I mean, not San Diego, but I was in San Diego, you know, for 25 years. And now we've been here 13 years. And we are masterminding for our own facility. And I think it's such an inspiration that, you know, here we are in Palm Springs, the 2 or 3 gathered, that I feel that there's someone that wants to donate something. So on our Tuesday night mastermind, we speak into the law of mind, that the mastermind has heard us and given us what we've asked for, because there are people, believe it or not, in this economy looking for places to give money. So I believe that to inspire, teach, and heal is a really worthy cause of having somebody nominate us for a grant. And so I put that out there as well. That when we recognize that we're here on the Earth Mother for just a short time. And Linda and I went to a member of our community who had a gathering yesterday. And it started at 4 o'clock. And a month ago, she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And the doctor said, you have 4 months to live. So she said, I'm going to have all the people I love dearly. I would like to have a big party. So her brother lives in Rancho Mirage. She invited all the people she dearly loves. We all gathered. Fleet was there. Linda and I were there, and a couple of other members of our community. And she said, you know, it's like I'm at my own funeral. I'm here with all the people that I love, that I feel such a wonderful connection to. And I want you to know that I was so deeply moved that she has been given this diagnosis, and she's having kind of a rough time, and rallied for this party, and was there and so present at this gathering. And that I told her, you remind me of the little monk who was out, and he was up on the mountain, and he was, you know, in the energy field, and he was looking for strawberries, and suddenly a tiger appeared, and he ran, and there was no place to go but down the little cliff, and he's looking down the cliff, and as he's surveying how he's going to get down, guess what? There's a tiger waiting for him down below, and he looked up, and there's a tiger waiting for him up above. And at that moment, he spied 2 succulent strawberries, and he reached out, and he tasted them, and the amazing energy on his palate. And in that moment, he was eternal. He had stepped out of the relative, with tigers above him, tiger below him. And that moment to reach out and pluck the beauty and the energy of a strawberry. And I told her, you're plucking your strawberries. You've got things that you're dealing with. And my gift to her, I received it from Africa, was a little bottle of mustard seeds. And I said, just take one out every day and just place it in a little bowl and say, with God, all things are possible. And as long as you're here, be here. Be here with the quality and the energy and the knowingness that you're loved. And that we all gathered here because we love you, not because you're dying. Because each and every one of us, we're here in such a limited time. However, there are those strawberry moments out there where we can reach out and we can pluck the energy of this moment. We can pluck the energy of this opportunity to embrace that each and every one of us, it's important to know what we want. But Louise Hay said, I never set goals. She's got the largest self-help publishing company in the world. She said, I just become it. I just manifest it because as I think of it, I embody it, and there it is. So whether we're writing copiously our goals, whether we have 5 major goals in our life, our highest vision, our deepest desire, our most sacred goal, or we have something that we really want to do energetically, and we know that the angels are going before us and preparing the way, as we become a lamp unto our own feet, drawing others into our energy field, to reach out and take the moments. No matter what is going on around us, to claim that moment, to experience it, to taste it, to embody it, to feel the energy of it. And when we listen to the still small voice of God, we become that. And we can let go. Job said, the thing I was most afraid has come upon me. So we just take that fear out and we embody the energy of love, which is the strongest healing power in the universe. I'm letting the genie out of the lamp. I'm acknowledging that even if I had gone to Oslo and I would have had to go back to renominate, I was willing to do that. And out of my willingness to do that, I didn't have to. Out of our willingness to draw the larger circle and include what is ever there, that is being in the energy of the strawberry, the energy of the moment. That is letting the genie out of the lamp, where it will say, your wish is my command. And to open ourselves up to life and to experience it one strawberry at a time. Because where are we going? We are going where? Higher yet. Where are we going? Higher yet. Where are we going? Higher yet. And so it is. God bless you.